We were driving our daughter 7 days later to go to college, which I texted you like, this is, no one prepared me for, I had no idea. And I've heard people talk about it, but it's like having a baby. No one can really prepare you.
No.
None of the books.
No.
I don't care what you read. Your own experience is going to come through no matter what. I swear to you, when we were 2 days before we took her, I started having like waves of panic.
Aww.
And I started like just going through the motions of, hey, I told Doug, I remember sitting down with him, I was bawling. I was like, I've been a horrible mother. She has no idea how much I've been selfish. I've chosen my career over her over and over and over again. And she'll never realize how much I wasn't good. You know, I went through the devastation of feeling like, this is it. My imprint, my thumbprint, my time, it's fleeting, it's gone. And I cannot I can't put it into her anymore. I've done my part to that degree.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the just regrets just were it was awful. And I just was
sorry.
Oh, it was awful. I was bawling to her and I was just like, I'm so sorry. I chose my work all the time over you. And she was like, it's okay. And Avery, autism Avery, it's okay. You're fine. No, you did the best you could. I mean, thank you. How about just say, no, Mom, I love you. You're amazing. You are the best mom anyone could ask for. No, those aren't vocabulary words that her or Doug have.
Yeah.
So I have to like write the script, like, tell me that
this
I'm
is
pretty.
what I need.
I need you to tell me I'm skinny. I'm pretty. You love me. I love you back. Then cue the hand, hug, make it firmer, hold a little longer, like, Post-it notes all over them. No, but it was intense.
So you had the breakdown a couple days before. How was it for the rest of the time? Like for the drive and for dropping off and for leaving?
Drive was cool. She was on her, she's MIA. She's a loner. So she's on her iPad and doing her drawing and doing her stuff. And Doug was fine until it was time to drop her off. And we got our room set up. He was on a mission, right? He was on get the dorm set up. And of course, designer Doug is trying to like do things. And she's like, nah, I don't want that. And he's like, no, it'll look better. It's even that way. And them two were having their own opinions on things. But, she wanted to be with her roommates and we knew that. But then the silence was deafening.
Yeah.
When we came home. I mean, when we left her at the dorm, she cried. We bawled. I could barely speak.
Aww.
I remember watching Bert and I'm like, yeah, Bert and I are very similar in that way.
Yes.
We're very, very heart like crybabies. And Doug usually doesn't. He's more stoic like you in that way. And he lost it. We got home and he slept in the other bedroom that night because he was like, I don't want to keep you up because I'm going to be crying.
Aww.
And he was just crying all night long.
Aww.
I had to take a migraine medicine because I was like, I'm out. Like I got to tap out. I got to take a Valium. I need to get my migraine on and I need to go to sleep because my body, when I'm stressed out, has to I need to be knocked out, put me to sleep.
Yeah.
Numb and dumb. So that's what I needed. And he was like, I'm just going to go in the other room because I know that I'm going to be up all night and upset.
Aww.
And it was really hard. And we'd drive home. We were crying for 4 hours. And I remember it was just in waves, right? And then we get home and it was the silence. It was so quiet in our house that I hated. I was like, her room just felt cold and it just wasn't her. And that was really weird. It still is. She's home now. They have a long break at her school. She got to be home just November 18th through January 6th.
Oh my, that's a long break.
Because they don't want their international students to have to go back and forth.
I see.
So they do that. But I was just like, it's so weird. And now that she's back, she's doing the same thing up in her room all day long, just, barely engages. And we're like, oh, I remember this. She's not a different person.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. But how about you guys? How did it go for you?
Better than I thought, actually. I had a different reaction. I was expecting to really fall apart.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I didn't. I mean,
you've been prepping for this too.
I have. And I've listened to so many other people tell me how difficult it's been. I think that I was really bracing myself for like a hurricane.
Yeah.
And I hope this doesn't sound cold, but Bert and I were upset for like 15 minutes. Like 15 minutes. We were good going up there. We were good helping her with her dorm. Bert kind of kept his distance because he's so recognizable.
Yeah.
Georgia wanted her autonomy. So really, Georgia and I dealt with her dorm, but she wanted to be with her roommates too.
Yeah.
Same thing. And then the last day when we were leaving, when we went to say goodbye, like we're leaving now, I said to Bert, just remember this is her moment.
Yeah.
So let her have the moment. Whatever's going on, just let it be her moment. So she was so happy.
Yeah.
And she was so excited. She had no tears. She was not emotional. So we met that energy.
Yeah.
And stayed excited and happy and woohoo, big team.
You did it.
And then got in the car and Bert just went,
Yeah.
As soon as we pulled out of the driveway,
God.
he held it together. And I cried as we were coming out of the driveway and then hitting the road to the airport. And he just sobbed, and it went through waves for him too, in and out and in and out. But I cried for not very long. And then I was like, okay, she's okay.
Yeah.
And I mean, I am different. I have another kid at home.
Yeah.
But I miss her.
Yeah.
A lot. But I'm not, it hasn't, the grief of it hasn't really come for me.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I don't know if maybe,
it might be that you've been prepping and you also do have another child. And maybe when Isla leaves, it will be quiet. You know, when both kids are gone, I can imagine. I'll be interested to see how it goes for you when Isla's gone, because it's so quiet.
Yeah. I feel like that's quiet anyway. She's always in her room.
Yeah.
Like Avery. But the thing about this grief to me is that it's like almost solid.
Yeah.
Like it's not like when my grandmother died. I felt so strongly this grief, and then it became very solid, where it just stays with me.
Yeah.
And I think that dropping her off just went to that, because there's nothing sad about it.
No.
And there's no real loss per se. But I went to this really solid grief where I went, oh, that part's over.
That's where my grief stayed, and was I think mine was about reminiscing regrets, of really truly taking care of my other baby, which has been my business's for years, and choosing it a lot of times over the family, over her. And I've known that. We've talked about it. She's very aware that I have that regret. And they came in waves as she was a child, and how much that impacted her or didn't, and then when she was diagnosed with, Asperger's, it was like, it made sense. That's why she doesn't get affected by it as much, which is a blessing and a curse, because she didn't see it for what it was, because you'd have to be intuitive and feel that. And she just didn't feel that.
Yeah.
So that in a way was almost giving me an out, because I didn't have to deal with the grief of her resenting me for it.
Right. It didn't break anything. Yeah.
It's just who she is.
Yeah.
And same with her never having a sibling. She thought about it when she was younger and thought, maybe I would like it, maybe I wouldn't like it. But it doesn't sit with her.
Right.
She's not very emotionally charged by stuff like that. Me, I'm thinking about it all the time, and and how would you have been, and would it have been great or bad, and then how would Doug and I have been? And I don't believe anything happened that shouldn't have happened. And so we are where we are.